my name is Britt Stone. If you have not watched the last few videos, I am your instructor and I'm the education coordinator for the Little Theater of Winston-Salem. So, welcome to class number 4 and sadly our final class. Please be sure to watch these videos, the prior videos. If you want to attend the last class discussion, you're still able to do that. And honestly, you could watch these videos probably afterwards. You may not be able, we won't do the discussion per se, but they're still available if you want to learn, just in general. Class number 4, we are going to be talking about kind of the final, not the final, I'm sorry, but a very big, important aspect of being an actor. So these classes have kind of been building up to this point. So we're talking about building relationships on stage. Essentially, you are creating a very special bond with your castmate through your characters and through the work that you do regarding your character. So of course, the first step to this is to find a relationship with your character. That comes with some backstory work, comes with just understanding your character's emotions throughout the whole play. So when you're reading the play and going through rehearsals, try and really mark, find those emotions and ask yourself, okay, why am I feeling this emotion and what relationship am I currently in and experiencing on stage, and why am I feeling the way I'm feeling towards this person and with this person? That's when you can start doing kind of relationship backstory. The first thing you do want to become comfortable with is eye contact. I think eye contact can be very disconcerting, especially when you hold it for a long time. I mean, for example, I'm staring at my phone right now and I'm becoming uncomfortable because I'm making eye contact with myself. And I'm still becoming uncomfortable. I want to look away. But eye contact is very, very important. It facilitates this interesting trust. And your goal and your objective for building these strong relationships is that trust. You want to create that trust, and you want to almost like meld your minds together. Because as I described in one of the previous videos, the world on stage is a present moment. There was a world before. There were things that happened before this moment that is your play. So your relationship extends beyond what you're actually saying and doing right now. And so that's kind of what you're working with first. Always keep in mind that this work that you're doing on your own, always stay open to the fact that you do have a director, and the director may not have the same perspective as you and may want you to do something differently. But that's neither here nor there. I'm just saying that so you can keep that in mind. I mentioned in the first video how important listening is, and it's intense listening. It's listening with your eyes, it's listening with your body, of course with your emotions. So you're not just listening with these guys. I mean, this is literally just, these are for utility, they're for hearing. But listening comes from treating every single word that your partner within that relationship, it treats every single word with respect, and you've never heard it before. I mean, that's actually the hardest part of acting, is acting like you have never heard this play before that you've been working with for 2 months. So obviously you've heard it before, but you're going to treat this world and this relationship so grand that it feels like the first time you are having these conversations. So that's what eye contact and listening gives to you. So those are the first things that and you always want to keep those in mind when you are building and maintaining and discovering more of your relationship. I'm going to talk about also a technique that I use when I build relationships for the stage. So I, of course, mentioned backstory. Backstory is like it says, it's backstory, it's your past, but backstory is kind of almost, it seems scientific. You want to put a little more emotion into your backstory, and emotion comes from memory. A really good tool as an actor is you can get with your scene partner and you create a false memory, something that's just very personal to you. It's not about talking about the memory. It's just about having something in your head that is as tangible as possible to really feel that emotion. Okay? So if you are supposed to act as though you are desperately in love with somebody on stage, you can act desperately in love. You ask yourself the questions, why do I love you? How did we meet? All of this stuff, and that's part of that backstory, and it's very, very helpful and very, very important. But there's another layer you can add, which is to just create memories. You can create memories together where you think of, oh my gosh, I remember that day when you surprised me with a picnic outside and you gave me my, favorite flower, you picked flowers for me, or whatever it is. I know that sounds silly and everything, it's just what happened in my brain just now. But that, if you can visualize that together, you meld your minds, you have something that you both created together and you can remember. And those moments on stage when you are looking straight into that person's eyes and you are listening with every part of you about that love, you also have that beautiful memory of, your loved one surprising you with a picnic and giving you flowers. It's really simple, and it's not something that you put out there to the cast. It's literally a little personal gift that you give to yourself, to how you continue to build that emotion. Now, obviously, all these things that I'm talking about are kind of more so just tools for you to think about. As with a lot of these videos, they're just tools that I have learned and personally used throughout my theater experiences, and they have worked wonderfully for me. For example, I was in a play where I, of course, had to use a lot of emotion, and I had a really strong relationship with somebody on stage, and it was based around love, and it was specifically based around an unrequited love and a secret love, more so. So it was an interesting comedy where I played Robin Hood. It was a gender thing. I played Robin Hood, and of course my scene partner, wonderful actor next to me, played Little John, and our big objective in that play was that we were secretly in love with each other. And in that way, it was beautiful, and the audience of course knows it, but we don't know it really. And so I got together with him and I asked him, I figured out what kind of question I wanted to ask him to really get there, the one moment where we really looked at each other and felt that true love. I asked him, what was the first memory of you as Little John where you fell in love with me? What was the first time you fell in love with me? And he came up with a little very simple memory. I came up with my own little memory of the first time that I fell in love with him. And just creating those two memories together in person, every night of rehearsal and every night of that show, we both felt it far more deeply, and it made so much difference in the world. And so, it sometimes helps to describe an actual experience you've had. One of the things you also need to know is a relationship between the two of you and your setting. We talked about all the components about the world of an actor, what we build, character, the relationship. We build the setting, we build everything around that, that kind of stuff. And so you have to have a relationship with that as well. So relationships on stage are predominantly between the actors, but it's helpful to think of relationship as an overarching term. You have a relationship with yourself as your character, you have a relationship with your surroundings and your environment, and then the two of you have a relationship, and then the two of you also have a relationship with the scope of the world as well. It seems kind of tangled and everything, but again, that is the beauty of the puzzle of theater. So what I would like for you guys to do is use these tools. The first thing you can do is when and if you're watching TV or a movie, pick out a relationship on that show or in that movie, and just pay attention to the eye contact and the listening and how the emotions kind of come out of that and how intense those relationships are. I have sometimes done that for just my own learning. And then I'm going to email you a specific scene from just a very well-known play. I'll be emailing any of the students that email me to come onto the Zoom discussion link. I will be emailing you a scene, about 2 to 3 pages probably, and I would like for you to just read that, choose a character, and basically start to use your backstory, start to have that relationship with your character first, and then kind of just on your own do some of that personal relationship backstory that I kind of mentioned. The backstory tools being how and why did we meet each other, how long have we known each other, just kind of all the typical bullet points of any of your relationships out here, out in the regular world. During the discussion, we can actually start to read the scene together and actually talk about it. So this class 4 has kind of been building up to actually using text and reading it, and of course collaboratively chatting about it after the readings. So email me as soon as you can after you watch this video if you are interested, of course. It would be helpful to email me as quickly as possible so you can get that scene and have enough time to kind of read it and do some work on that, work through that little puzzle. So yeah, that is your at-home exercise. If you have questions, please email me questions. If you need to go back and watch the other videos, please feel free to. You know, with that being said, all of this, I would like to just say that we accept any and every kind of donation right now. As a theater, donations are our source of income right now. So any type of donation to our theater and our education programs would be greatly appreciated. And with that, I will see you Saturday.